Welcome back, guys, to another video. And before I get into today's topic, I do want to give a big shout out to Radical Reggie. The shirt that I'm wearing right here, you guys best know him as probably the guest on the Metal Jesus Rock show, but he also has his own YouTube channel as well, and he's very knowledgeable on games, really humble guy, and I definitely wanted to show some support to Radical Reggie wearing one of his t-shirts. And if you guys want to support him as well, I'll have a link on the description below to Dripping Pixel, where you guys can also order your own Radical Reggie t-shirt, because why not? You know, this video is going to be a pickups video, but there's going to be a little bit of a twist to it. This is going to be a reproduction pickups video. Now, I've touched base on this on numerous podcasts and previous videos. I'm all about reproductions. I love repro carts. I think it's a great way to, and kind of in a hybrid way, to play ROMs on the original hardware, to play these games on an actual Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis. And let's face it, the prices of retro gaming is getting so crazy that if you're someone like me that treats these games like a hobby and not an investment, this is a definitely great way to get about playing video games. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Gunstar Heroes for the Sega Genesis. Now, this was put out by Treasure, and a little tidbit, Treasure is actually formed by former members of Konami. They got together, made their own company, and they put out their own games. So this game definitely has that Contra flair to it. It's pretty difficult, but a lot of fun. In some aspects, it kind of makes me think of Mega Man, because you can choose which level you want to go to. And I have to say, if you have a Sega Genesis, this is definitely a game you owe yourself to have in your collection. It's kind of pricey, it's going up there. You can play on the Xbox Live Arcade, but if you're like me, you can find the reproduction really cheap. Definitely give it a go. And the next game I have on my list is a game that surprisingly I didn't have in my collection before, and it's starting to go up in value, but that is Ghouls and Ghosts. And I had to look at the cart because I always want to say Ghost and Ghouls or Ghouls and Goblins. I always get it mixed up, but I absolutely love this series. Fantastic side scroller from Capcom, very reminiscent of the macabre games that I enjoy like Castlevania and whatnot. It has the difficulty to it. What's not to say about Ghouls and Ghosts that, I mean, no one has said before? It's a lot of fun. Definitely check it out. I'm glad to finally have it in my collection. Now, the next game I have, I'm going to show you is a game that's a lot more expensive for the Sega Genesis, and that is Musha. Now, everyone always talks about Musha. Like, whenever you talk about Sega Genesis games, one of the games that people always ask if you have in your collection, do you have Musha? And I can understand it, because Musha is a really fantastic shooter. I have a lot of fun playing this game. It has a fantastic soundtrack to it. It's got some difficulty, but it has that arcade flair that I love about shoot 'em ups or shooters. And you know, to me, this game isn't worth the price it's going for on eBay. It's going almost, you know, last time I checked, it was like $500 to $600 complete. I mean, and I just don't feel like I want to spend that much money on a game. So I found the reproduction and I had to check it out. This next game, I did want to leave a disclaimer. If you guys do find a lot of reproductions online, this is something to look into, because I got Crusader of Sinti. The problem about this game, though, is it does not have a battery save to it. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because if you are searching for reproductions and you find JRPGs or a game that has the feature saves, be sure to check the description and say that it has a battery save to it, because unfortunately I cannot progress through this game unless I have like a Retron 5 that allows you to save on the actual hardware. So what can I say about this game? It is put out by Atlas, and it's pretty much a Zelda clone. It plays a lot like Link to the Past. It's a really fun game, but unfortunately I got kind of dipped and I got one that I cannot save. But I only spent $5 for this, so it's okay. It's not like I went out there and spent, you know, $50 to $60 on a reproduction that is obsolete. The next game, I you know, I was debating if I wanted to get a reproduction of this or not, because this is a series I do hold dear to my heart, and of course that's Castlevania. And there was only one Castlevania game I was missing in my US release collection, and that of course is Castlevania Dracula X. And it's real to me. I have a lot of fun playing it. It's pretty much a watered down version of Rondo of Blood. With that being said, it's not a terrible game by any stretch of means. It's still a fantastic Castlevania game. I do think that Super Castlevania is a lot better, but for the Super Nintendo pumping out a game like this that was originally on a CD-ROM on the TurboGrafx and PC Engine, you can't really complain too much, and it's a lot of fun. And I will say, the Dracula battle in Dracula X is one of the hardest Dracula battles I've ever had. I mean, that's a tough freaking boss battle. I did not have fun with that one. And of course, one great thing about reproductions is you can get games that normally were not released in the US, and people can do like English translations and stuff like that. A great example will be Mother 3 on the Game Boy Advance. Now, this does save, it does have a battery save to it, and it's completely translated, fan translated of course. And this was a game I played a lot on emulation, but it's great to finally have it as a physical copy. I mean, they did a great job. You guys can see the cart right there. I made the case for it using the coverproject.net, and I mean, it's great. It's Earthbound. It's what you would expect. I mean, it's got the sense of humor. It's turn-based. It's Earthbound. You know, it's the sequel to Earthbound. So yeah, definitely, if you guys get a chance, check out Mother 3, either on emulation or a reproduction. Now, the last game I wanted to talk about has a really funny story to it. Now, I love reproductions, but I also like multi-carts. Someone said in a comment on Facebook that they said multi-carts, like these like games that are, you know, all on one cartridge, is like a greatest hits album. And I do agree with that. A lot of it's like that. And I got this 369 games in one for the Game Boy Advance. Now, I got this as a gift from my friend Justin, aka Down Phoenix. He came down earlier this month for a wedding. He came to Wilmington, and it was his first time in Wilmington, North Carolina, his first time in North Carolina, and we got hit by Hurricane Matthew. I was like, wow, you're being greeted with open arms to North Carolina. It's freaking crazy. But we hung out. We went to Pachinko World, and he got to experience Pachinko and play that. We had a lot of fun. He does have a video on his YouTube channel of us playing Pachinko. You guys can check it out on the description below, and definitely check out his content as well. Justin makes some great stuff. He's a good friend of mine, and thank you again, Justin, for this multi-cart. Now, it has a bunch of Pokemon games on it that do feature the save files. It has a couple of GBA games like Mario Kart, Super Circuit. It's got some NES games on it. Now, some of the NES games, the frame rate kind of drops a little bit. You can definitely tell it's kind of bootleggy, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I mean, and surprisingly, some of the games are not all repeats. There are some, if you guys do get some of the multi-carts, you know, they'll be like 6 or 7 different Mario hacks, and they're on here. Some of them are on here, and me and Jamie were just going through them, and we were having so much fun just trying out all the different games. And I mean, the convenience of a multi-cart is nice, because I could just bring this one cart with me, my Game Boy SP, and I'll be good to go. I mean, it's got plenty of games to keep me busy on a road trip, or, you know, at work on my lunch break or something like that. So definitely check this out. I don't know exactly who put this multi-cart out, but again, thank you, Justin, for this. But yeah, guys, this is some of my reproduction carts. I've been getting a pretty stacked collection of reproduction carts, and like I said, I don't mind them. They're games. They go in my console, and I get to play them and have just as much fun with more money in my pocket, because these games are a lot cheaper than they're going for on eBay. So be sure to check them out online, guys. They're there. Trust me, they're there, and they're easy to find. And once you find them, it feels like the retro market back in, like, you know, 2000. You know, when you're getting, I got like these games right here for like 24 bucks. I got 4 games. That's awesome. But anyway, guys, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, happy gaming.
Can't get enough of Excess Gaming Podcast? Be sure to check out our audio podcast on Podomatic.com. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes. And if you have a YouTube channel or podcast you'd like to share, be sure to check us out on Facebook on our group page and join the community. As always, guys, thank you so much for all the support and happy gaming.